everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Okay, let me show y'all why this keeps happening. I don't know if I can let y'all see my camera from this far. Can you see it? Okay, you see these buttons? I keep forgetting that I have to also undo the button. Like, can y'all see that from down there? I don't want to stretch the cord too far. Like, you see it? Can you hear me now? Y'all still can't hear me? No way. Hold on a second. It says it's working. It says it's picking me up. You can hear me now? Okay. You see this button? How it's green? I keep forgetting I have to turn it on like that. So I keep forgetting I have to turn that on. Sorry, guys. Let me turn it off real quick so it doesn't make a bunch of noise as I put it back. Okay. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I have to turn that damn button on. Okay. Hello. Happy Valentine's Day. Let me say it again. If you have plans, I hope everything goes well and nothing happens that's crazy. And I hope weather doesn't mess with y'all whatsoever. And I hope everything is great. It's raining a lot where we are. So I can't take the boys to do what I wanted to do today, but we have plans tomorrow, which is going to be fantabulous because the weather's supposed to be good. Who has been following along with this insane ass case? I am losing my mind. I literally am the meme of Jim Carrey and Liar Liar pulling his hair out. That is how I feel every single time I see anything with this case at all. All kinds of chaos was going on last night. And it's been really difficult to like go to bed over the past couple of nights because all I keep doing is refreshing everything on Twitter about this case, refreshing Pima County, refreshing the FBI, refreshing the KOLD, even refreshing TMZ because for some reason they're actually involved in this stupid situation. And the FBI put them in there. They're the ones who came out at that last press conference and was like, that's the one that we're investigating. Well, holy shit. Suddenly TMZ is actually important for once. But they're milking it. They're milking the crap out of it. And we're going to talk about the new emails too. Now, nothing apparently has come in today. As far as I know, I haven't seen TMZ saying they had another one as of today. But after the ransom stuff passed, TMZ was trying to say that somebody who was claiming to know who the kidnappers were was asking for 1 Bitcoin for the information. And then whenever nothing happened, they sent another one. And TMZ keeps calling him a he, but we don't really know. TMZ said that they sent another one asking for 1 Bitcoin up front. And then another Bitcoin after an arrest was made. And there was like some sort of weird good faith statement they were trying to make. Like, I won't cash out the first Bitcoin until after the second one hits and the guy's arrested. And I'm just like, this is wild. So if you were in my live, the last time we went live on this case, we were watching to see what Iked Mel was looking at. And there was a guy, I think on TikTok, that he had pulled up and he was playing at the top of his screen. And he was like, I was making fun of him because of how he was talking. He was like, I'm about to just tell everybody everything. Y'all don't want to keep messing with me. I know who did it. And I'm just like, is it this idiot sending all these emails to TMZ? Like, this is just wild. This is just wild. This is just super, super wild. Everything that happened last night. Oh my God, now there's like more video footage coming out from more people. See, we have like a lot of different things that I want to go over, but I want to be really careful. So I'm not going to show you my screen while I'm like looking for stuff to show you because there's been a lot of incorrect information going out everywhere. A bunch of people's faces being thrown all over the place that have nothing to do with anything because the wrong addresses are going out on social media. People are grabbing the wrong information and there's just a lot happening. So we're going to be careful not to just pop every little thing up on the screen, but we're going to go over quite a few things. Man, are we going to go over quite a few things. Now, I will say, and I'll give you all this link in the chat real quick. It's Fox News Digital, but they have been keeping track of everything when it comes to all of like the updates. And they seem to have everything just like on this one page. And for some reason, law enforcement is talking to them. They're talking to the big medias. And I don't really understand why, because normally they don't. But then you have to take into consideration who's involved in this case. So maybe these are just people that they're talking to because they have an interest. They trust them better with it because it's one of their own. I don't know why. But when you look at this, they have pretty much all of the updates that are coming out when law enforcement puts an update out, and it's just on one page. And it has made it a little bit easier to go in and debunk what's happening compared to what all the bullshit is. Now, let's talk about the very first thing that bothered the crap out of me. JLR's chat is wild. I will pop it up in there every now and then to see if he's actually at the correct spot for anything important, because half the time he's where there's no action. He's where nothing's happening. And he's just listening to what the people in the chat are telling him as he's driving around to all these locations that aren't doing anything. So, but it's interesting, and it's been sort of entertaining to see what the hell's been going on. Did y'all see the bunny that showed up? Did y'all see the bunny that showed up? Have you seen how JLR just let a bunch of like strangers in his car to drive him around like he has no worries in the world? I'd be like, no, get the hell away from me. No, I'm not going to let some random person take over my camera while I leave all of my expensive equipment here and go run somewhere. I will say that the man is crazy. But that matches what we know about him, so that's perfectly just, yeah, it doesn't even matter. He's never at the right place at the right time. And that's the most important part about what you need to know about that situation. This is what's been bothering me since this update came out. Now, one of the KOLD representatives came out and said that they were given an update. I think it was either yesterday morning or like late the night before, but I think I posted this either here or on my second channel. I don't remember, but I know I freaking posted it somewhere else besides this. And I'm pretty sure like I just like copy and pasted what I said. They have now like moved the timeline a little. They've moved the timeline a little. So when they first came out, they were telling us, can I make this bigger? Yes, I can. Okay, when they first were telling us the timeline, they told us that at 1:47, the doorbell disconnected, and then at 2:12, software detected a person, but there was no video available. Well, all of a sudden, they have people, and TMZ and a lady from KOLD, like they're all getting the exact same updates. Now they're saying that the 2:12 footage, like the 2:12 timestamp, is the actual footage of the masked person at the door. So you're telling me that at 1:47 that the doorbell in the front of the house was disconnected, but almost 30 minutes later, they're back in front of that exact same camera that you're telling me that they disconnected at 1:47. So I don't understand why they're giving out updates through the news, regardless of who is involved in this. This is dumb. If they're not coming out and correcting their own timeline, but they're telling TMZ, they're telling KOLD, they're telling Arizona Family, they're telling K-Gun 9, they're telling all of these different entities in Arizona these updates, but they're not doing any of their own official updates. What they just said to us doesn't make any logical sense. You cannot tell us that that footage was 30 minutes after you told us that the damn thing was disconnected. That throws everything off. That throws everything the frick off. So until law enforcement really puts something out, everything is up in the air. Everything is, oh, we don't know, and maybe possibly, and who freaking knows what's going to freaking happen here. Now, I have been trying to get some sort of update from Pima. They're not updating anything. They don't give a damn. They lied about giving us any sort of update last night. It's really so ridiculous to come out and be like, okay, we're going to come out, we're going to talk to you, we need to put a staging area, we need to clear people out. And then to come out and be like, oh, we're not going to talk to you actually. We lied, we're going to put a statement out. And then the statement, well, like 3 to 4 hours later was like, oh, well, because this is a joint investigation, we've been asked not to give any updates per the FBI. So sorry, we can't actually say anything to you. So Steve Fisher was right when he went over there and he replied in the comments, whatever happens at this point is your fault. Whatever happens at this point is your fault. You are bearing all of the responsibility because you are going to end up allowing all of this misinformation to go everywhere. And what were they having to do in real time? Pima County themselves was having to come out here and be like, the current law enforcement activity saying that it belongs to the house of a former county attorney is not accurate, because people were going out and getting people's pictures, throwing them all over the internet, getting the wrong information. The cops themselves, just like MPD had to do with the Idaho case, had to real time come out and debunk shit because they were refusing to come out and speak. What does that sound like? What did I just say? Just like the Idaho case. It's amazing, the similarities here, all the way down to a private lab. All the way down to a private lab. They have the FBI right there on scene, willing to help, willing to do everything. A senator was involved with this case from the very beginning. And instead of using the FBI lab, they send it off to a private lab that they've been contracted with. What does that sound like? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The similarities here are crazy. And what happened again last night? They swatted the shit out of a house, and I don't care what they're trying to say. I don't care what they are trying to say. Something is happening with whoever they brought in from that home, because they're claiming there's no arrests, but no one has seen those people go home. No one has seen those people be released from wherever they're being detained at. And the only update that they're giving so far, and I'm going to go get it and pull it up right now, it's the exact same one that every single one of the news companies are getting, is that there is forensic testing waiting for results before they come out and give an update about what happened last night. So they want to say nothing about Nancy. No, we don't have any information on the abductors, but whatever happened last night doesn't actually matter because no arrests happened. So where's the people? Where is the people? Because when Carlos had his little situation happen, and we still are going to go over the little pieces that he did talking to Truth and Transparency for when they spoke on the phone. I grabbed those clips. I'm going to put it together and get rid of all the extra stuff and come out and talk about just the pieces that he said. But when that happened, people were watching him be let out of those cars. And remember, they didn't take him to a building. They made him sit in vehicles on the side of the road and just made him play hot potato. And then the cops played hot potato on who was going to ask him what. And he had to wait for over 2 hours before a detective showed up. So you're going to SWAT team up and pull this guy over that's a suspect in this kidnapping and make him wait 2 hours for a detective? What is happening here? What is actually happening here? This is like the worst of the worst sort of investigations. The worst of the worst sort of investigations. So this is the only thing that's come out in way of anything. And notice it's BNO News. They're sending this off to all of the news stations. They're not putting this on the FBI website or on Pima County website. They're putting it into the hands of mainstream media and just saying, here, put our statement out for us. I don't really quite understand that, but okay. This is from this morning. Law enforcement activity. Last night, a federal court order search warrant was executed at a residence near East Orange Grove Road and North 1st Avenue in connection with the Guthrie case. The warrant was based on a lead we received. No arrests were made. A traffic stop was also conducted and a person was questioned, but no arrest resulted from that incident. There are no further details available at this time. Now we're going to talk about those things, because there are two different situations in both of the photos. Both of the incidents have like the Culver's Burger restaurant location. There's a white van surrounded by police, and then there's a silverish gray Range Rover in a parking lot at the Culver's, and there's photos of a guy with handcuffs on. He's not just like sitting there talking to the police. He's got handcuffs on, being sat down on the steps, the step board of the bottom, like the back seat, surrounded by police so that the mainstream media can't see him, but you can see his face. So you've got a white van, you've got a guy in a Range Rover. We see that he has cuffs on. You pick up a tarp while you open up the trunk to get something out of the trunk, and then you red evidence tape it sealed shut, and then you tow it away. But we're supposed to expect that there is no arrest. You're telling us one of those traffic stops was involved in this. So was it the white van one, or was it the one that we saw handcuffs on the guy? Please be more specific, because this doesn't answer anything. And of course, there are no further details available at this time. Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI continue to work together around the clock to do investigation, tracking all leads. So their leads include just swatting the whole neighborhood. Their leads don't include going up and knocking on the door and asking questions, getting a regular warrant, and doing anything like normal. They have to alert the whole cavalry for any sort of lead whatsoever. They just go ham on all the leads. But again, where are these people? And why is there now a $100,000 reward for Nancy from the freaking FBI, but her 40 million plus net worth daughter hasn't put a single reward out for her? And they've not paid the damn ransom, not that we've heard, before or after the deadline, after claiming they were going to come out here and pay it. What is actually happening? What in the actual shit is happening? I don't know. I don't have any clue. So tell me this. Tell me. I'm going to look over here. Tell me. We're going to talk about the Dolly thing too. Tell me this. How do you pay for a pool cleaning service, but you don't have your security camera subscription paid for? How do you have a pool cleaning scheduled service that comes out on a regular basis and for somehow is just allowed to come through at a crime scene and clean your damn pool? I ain't never seen anything so ridiculous in my life. How do you have a pool pool appointment that you pay for up front, that is scheduled, that you have to pay for, and you don't pay your monthly subscription for your security system? I don't comprehendo. I don't understand. Okay, the family hasn't said anything. That was something I was going to check while we were live. I was going to go check her social media. The family, as far as I understand, they have not said anything since the tent went up in front of the house and they went to go and see, do the lighting for the measurements for height of the person. Yeah, she hasn't posted anything since February the 12th when the tent went out there. And all it was this: our lovely mom, we will never give up on her. Thank you for your prayers and hope. And it's just like a montage video of them as kids with her. 23-second song. That's it. They haven't said another word. They have not said another word. Now, I will tell y'all this, and I'm not going to pull it up because it's the Daily Mail, and I don't trust the Daily Mail as far as I can throw myself, all right? But we're going to talk about it anyway, because did Dolly, okay, we'll talk about that first. Did Dolly actually see anything? Dolly did see something. Dolly saw a car accident. Dolly did not see a man with a weapon next to him or any of those things. I'll play y'all this little clip that was posted on Twitter. Basically, he saw a car accident and he saw the death that happened at the car accident. And there was a fatality accident that happened yesterday. And I don't think, and I don't really like Dolly too much either. There's a lot of people I just don't watch. They rub me the wrong way. I don't like it. So just like people don't like me, and it just is what it is. I can have that opinion, but I can still say that and say, I don't honestly feel like he meant to confuse anyone with anything, because the live where he came up on that situation, he got rid of it. So whenever he went live again, he was just like, I came across this, we were coming up on this accident scene that was on the way to where they were swatting in the Nancy Guthrie case, and there was a body on the ground. I think that people just heard that he was headed over to the Nancy Guthrie situation, that he's there reporting about the Nancy Guthrie situation. We knew that there was a white van that might have been involved in something before that people were questioning. And there's pictures of this white van going all over the place. There's pictures of the Range Rover. There was a lot of chaos last night. It was chaotic last night. Chaotic. 2 hit and runs. I'm pretty positive is what I read. 2 hit and runs. Yeah, he deleted the live where he came up on that video. And like, if I'm taking up for somebody that I don't like, then I'm being like so extremely freaking sincere right now. I really believe that it was just a miscommunication with all the chaos going on. I didn't personally hear him say anything in the little 2-minute clip that they put up here or in the live that he put back up about it. Besides that, he took it down because he didn't want that on there and he didn't know like what it has to do with anything. And he's not acting like he even believes that it's associated with that. So I think that people just heard it in the middle of all the chaos and just ran with it without waiting a second to see what was going on. And we see it constantly. Yeah. I mean, if you're just out driving to something and you come across an accident scene and the dead body's not covered up, I'm sure you'd be shaking the shit up too, because that's not a normal thing to see. So I'll go ahead and I'll play this because this is him sort of explaining a little bit, but this is where he says like that it was an accident that he drove up on where he was going and that he took that live down. So let's listen to this. It's only 1 minute and 55 seconds. But it's very low. Like I have my headphones all the way up and I was noticing that yesterday when I was trying to listen to this, it is very, very low. So you might not even be able to hear it very well. Just put your headphones up as much as possible and I'll shut up for a second.
Oh, God. I'll let you guys get in here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, guys. I don't want to even tell you what I saw. I ain't going to tell you what I saw. Oh, my God. I was not expecting that tonight. You know when y'all see me running up, there's an unalived person on the ground. On the ground. Now they're reporting that there's an accident on the next street over from where they're at. I took that whole video down. I don't know what the camera seen or whatever it may be.
See, there was an accident on the what did he say? The next street over from the Guthrie situation. I just think people. But the crazy part is that it even leaked on the mainstream, and it's so funny when these mainstream assholes come out here and they talk about basically that like people like him and me alike, like regardless of if you're doing it from this way or if you're on the ground, that like we basically just shouldn't be doing this. But they took this information and it was in all kinds of mainstream reports. And like Ashley Banfield is out there going ham on the son-in-law, but Jesse Weber is out here. Is it Jesse Weber or is it the other guy? I think it's the other guy from the KFLA in Florida or whatever. He's over there running his mouth about people trying to figure out like who is involved in this and like digging up information from what we're getting publicly that the news is giving us. The news is out here giving us this information. People are going out, getting the information, putting information up, trying to figure out what's going on. And they're complaining about how it's so unprofessional. And this is why journalists on these networks should be the only ones to talk about this stuff. And I'm like, so what's the difference between that and what Ashley Banfield's doing? Because there's no proof. I understand the reason why people are looking at the son-in-law, last person or so that she was with. They're being really sketchy about giving us information about like who actually drove her home and stuff like that. But we don't really have any information. We don't have any proof that they had any debts. We don't have any proof that there was sort of any animosity. There's nothing of that. Nothing. I've been looking for it because I've been trying to figure out, okay, why are so many people pointing at the son-in-law besides Ashley Banfield said so? I can't find anything. Anybody find anything for real? I haven't found anything. And again, I know people want to blame someone, but we don't have enough information for that. We don't have enough information for that literally at all. And people are still doing it. And that's cool. They can have their opinion. But these people coming out here and being like, oh, they shouldn't even be out here talking about this. What's the difference? What's the difference? She can sit at your silver spoon table and we're just sitting in our houses. Sorry, same thing, broski. It's getting really annoying. It's getting really annoying because they were taking everything that they're getting from people like that on the ground, getting the information, sharing it, and putting it in their own news stories. The main reason why the entirety of Twitter is tripping right now and feeling like we were like Men in Black with the little brain thingy, that little meme is everywhere today, is because we all heard mainstream talk about this person that died yesterday. Also, there's a neighbor that came out and spoke to a guy that was on the ground. I think his name was like Kevin. His last name starts with a P, something like that. I have it bookmarked. He came out, talked to a neighbor. Let me refresh this real quick. And the neighbor said that she saw 3 people coming out of the house, and she also saw that one of them took their own life. Well, the mainstream people were the ones going around and repeating that story over and over again and showing the lady's face on their thumbnail and saying, hey, this is what she said. And now they want to go and delete it because they took that information too. So we had a woman come out in the neighborhood and say that. Then we also had Dolly pop up on an accident where there was a dead person on the ground. And you see how everything just got like misconstrued and twisted. Twitter is crazy. Twitter is crazy. Twitter is super crazy. But when it comes to any actual information, we don't have any. They're not giving us any actual information. Pima County won't talk. They keep going back and forth about what's true and what's not. And I mean, I'm really understanding why so many people think that this is like a fake kidnapping. I really do. But I also like don't know what else to think because where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? She's nowhere. She's absolutely nowhere. Now, they did say, see, that was another thing. There was a whole nother misconception about the glove. See, I have my notes. I have my notes, some of my notes that I put right here yesterday before everything happened last night. So there was a rumor that there was a glove found inside of Nancy's house. And then that's when all of the chaos started going on about how the local sheriff had a problem with the FBI, something about a RICO case back in the day. It's been a couple of days since I looked at the article, but there was like something between the two of them from like some years ago, apparently. So they were trying to say that they weren't getting along and that's why this was sent that way, blah, 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 whatever. Well, then they had to come out and be like, there was no glove found inside Nancy's house. What are you talking about? And then after that came out, then they're like, oh, well, there was something that we tested, something of DNA, and we finally got some of those results back. So then we had the SWAT happened. So my initial thought was, did they get a CODIS hit? Did they get a DNA match to a CODIS hit and this person lives 2 miles away from Nancy's house and that's where they went? But they're telling us that it was some sort of like anonymous lead. But I say again, where are the people? Where are the people that were detained? They're still not home. What I'm understanding is that people are going up to that house and they're like knocking on the door, which they probably shouldn't be. They probably shouldn't be. But they're going up and they're knocking on the door and they're taking like video of it. See, here's this. This is the house where they swatted last night. You hear all the people outside the house. They swatted last night. Like no one apparently. See, this is the one. This is the wrong address that was coming out yesterday. And this is the right address. And it matches the one that we had last night at the end of the day after everything got all straightened out. What is this? Nerdy has been putting out a bunch of ring cam. A lot of people have been sending him ring cam from the area. This came out 42 minutes ago. This is January 29th at 4:17. Ring app with a warning to watch out as a man was trespassing through their yard. Another neighbor reported a man going through their mailbox at 12:55 on January 20th. Well, a third video from January 27th shows a masked man trespassing and checking cars at 12:41 a.m. All of these incidents occurred within a 5-mile radius of Nancy's house. So this is the one from January 29th, 2 days before she disappeared. Is he have a knife in his hand? No, he's like over. So it's just a guy. Well, I mean, it's not like just a guy because he's trespassing. Yeah, they never said what kind of DNA. They never said. That's upset. They're not telling us anything. to make us believe like anything that they're saying. They've never said anything. I think I've seen this part. Trying to see if it's unlocked. Why would you wear a mask over your face and then not wear a hat to cover your hair? He's about the right height, whoever that is. Kind of walks like the guy. Interesting. Interesting. See, this is that Range Rover. And I have several different things about the Range Rover. But this is a Range Rover in the Culver's parking lot that they started looking at. And I don't know. I don't know what they found. We're going to look at this here in just a second. I don't know what they found in there. I just know that they had. We're going to be talking about this right here. I don't know if y'all been following the stuff that's been going on with Frida Baby. I'll just say if you're a parent of an infant or if you know anyone that is using this brand, you need to tell them to look at their social media and the backlash that's happening right now. For the past like 3 or 4 days, I've been bookmarking all of these because Frida Baby has put a lot of really sexually explicit stuff on their baby products. And it makes your stomach churn. It's disgusting. That company needs to be shut down. I don't know what made them think putting stuff like that on baby products was cute. I don't know how the hell it took so long for people to freaking figure it out, but it's nasty. It's nasty. I'm going to be doing a video about it over on my other channel. It's disgusting. Okay, see, this is the neighbor right here. This is the guy that was there last night that was having, see, this is where this is like a little bit confusing. So this is the neighbor that told this Kevin Posobiec guy about the multiple people being detained and one person taking their own life. Well, he apparently had some sort of audio issues. Is it showing you the right screen? Yeah. He had some sort of audio issues apparently. And it says that local KVOA has all of the audio from this woman telling him all this stuff and their footage. And he's been trying to get a hold of them to get it. And apparently they're not answering him back. So somebody must have heard it from somewhere because, like I said, mainstream was taking it all over the place. Now, this is that Range Rover at the Culver's parking lot. You don't just pick up a tarp to take something electronic or to just check out the back of a trunk. You put up a tarp normally because there's biologics that you don't want people to see.
I don't know that that's exactly what they're looking into, but that was what.
And I have a screenshot of the dude that they detained too, that has the handcuffs on.
That's in the middle there, the silver one. It looks like he parked there, and then they all took out some kind of equipment. We don't know.
See, that's all they're saying. Like we see him doing this, we see him doing that, but we don't know. We don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what in the world they're doing. Like, tell me how confident the kidnappers are right now, seeing this shit all over TV. If there's real kidnappers that actually went in there and took her and took off with her, can you imagine? See, look, this is KVOA right here. The ones who have the guy's footage posted it up on their thing and then deleted it, even though they have it in the background. They have the woman's interview in the background. Isn't that freaking crazy? See, look, here's this. This is one of them. See, there's a guy sitting right here being shielded by the feds. Okay. This is the Range Rover. This is the guy that was at the Range Rover. This is the situation with the van. Notice Culver's is in the background. The Range Rover is in a Culver's parking lot. So I don't know if the two things are connected. I don't know if this was like a car accident between the two of them. I don't know. The van doesn't look like it has any damage. And the Range Rover doesn't look like it has any damage. And they had this guy in handcuffs. I'm trying to find the picture that actually shows the cuff on his hand. See right here. They blurred out his face, but he's in cuffs. Look. Now this is his face. I'm only showing it right here because you can't see his eyes. But he has cuffs on. So I don't know. I don't know what this guy's situation is. I don't know if this is the traffic stop that the police's mainstream media update is talking about, or if it's the white van. I don't understand why they have to give us such back and forth information, but they towed the damn thing. They covered up the license plate, which, look at this. Does that not look like it's a temporary plate? Just like the other freaking Range Rover in the freaking universe of true crime. And that's some crazy shit. Ain't that some crazy shit? That's a paper plate. Crazy shit. But it got towed out. They put red evidence tape on the back of it and then towed it out of there. Isn't that crazy? See, there's the guy. That's the guy from the Range Rover. There's the footage of them going over the aerial footage of the Fox thing. This is them putting the Range Rover tape on. This is the house, the drone of the house. Now, this is Savannah Guthrie's husband. Let's talk about Savannah Guthrie's husband, and then we're going to talk about what I said I didn't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway because I'm really curious. And like at this point, I don't know how you can't talk about all the things. So let's talk about it, okay? This is Michael Feldman. This is Savannah Guthrie's husband. This is him showing up at an airport on Friday with his 2 kids, escorted by multiple security officials, nearly 2 weeks after his mother-in-law, Nancy Guthrie, vanished. You know why it's important that we talk about Michael Feldman? Because he is apparently, well, not apparently, I've seen the documents, I've seen the people talking about it. He is a fixer for the Clintons. Him and another man, and I'm going to do a separate video on this information so that I have like everything up on the screen. Him and another man have a PR company, and they are responsible for making sure that stuff about the Clintons like stayed off of the internet. They were the ones that would run back to the Clintons about anything that was being said. He's in the Epstein files, in the conversations about the Clintons and this company being created and all of the things. Savannah Guthrie's husband. So let's backtrack for a second and think about what I said about Ashley Banfeld and her stepping away from News Nation when she did, right before the Epstein files came out, and we find out that she is curious about if Mr. Pedo himself is single because she's looking for a date to some movie premiere party. Yeah, she's nasty. I still got to move that video over to the big channel because it needs a lot more traction than the little one can give it. People need to know, especially since back in 2012, when Trashley Banfeld was trying to get Jeffrey Epstein's attention, she was still married for another 2 years. Yeah. So this Daily Mail article came out. I think it was yesterday. I was telling my buddy about it, kind of reading pieces of it to him because I was trying to see like how reputable, not really reputable, but how do you feel about like what's being said, even though it's coming from the Daily Mail? Because all these people talk to each other. Like that's one thing that we have to remember about this. All these people are colleagues. The Daily Mail, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all of them, they all have worked with Savannah at some point or another. They all are friends, work friends. So there's apparently people that work for the Today Show that are telling people at the Daily Mail that Savannah Guthrie's absence, shall I say, while she was getting vocal cord surgery, showed an increase in viewership while she was gone. And it was like over 2 million people, give or take, when it came to like the rating numbers. And that for a few weeks before her mom went missing, it seemed like she was really frustrated. She was worried about her job. And if you go and you look at the Today Show's YouTube page, there's actually not only a video about Tucson and where Savannah came from that shows Annie and her mom and like their places that they go to eat. Very easy for people to have stalked this old woman and find out where she goes from the places that were shown in this video. It wasn't very freaking smart whatsoever to put all that information out there for onesies, okay? So then she goes and she has vocal cord surgery, and like 2 weeks or so before her mom disappeared, the Today Show put this video up. And it's about how her journey was through getting her vocal cord surgery done. And it's like, again, 2 weeks before her mom went missing. So I don't know if they're going based off of just the fact that they know that she was gone, or if the ratings are really showing that with Savannah not there, the ratings went up and they had a higher viewership, because that's like the basis for why she's apparently been like frustrated up until this point. I know that a lot of people want to find a motive for putting this in the spotlight and this crazy ass story and the ransom and saying you're going to pay it and then not paying it and all of the crazy. But do we have physical proof about any of that stuff? I don't know. I'm going to look for websites where I can look up ratings for shows and like see the historical timeline for it all. And I'm going to go back and see the dates that she was out and wasn't on the show. And I'm going to see if there's some comparison and see if there's any standing to that. I just don't see how an article about that kind of stuff would be written knowing that that information is out there and available if you can view it publicly. But it's motive to want something in the news, to want something out there to call your senator friend before you call the cops, to not pay the ransom, to have the pool guy still freaking show up. Like, what is happening? What is happening? So it could be frustrations about viewership. It could be, oh shit, something's going to happen and we need a distraction because these Epstein files are going to come out and our name's in it in some way, shape, or fashion, and we're going to have all eyes on us. I don't know. There's too much going on right now to be able to decipher what's real and what's not. There is. There's too much going on. Way too much. So I don't know. But it's everywhere, and all these little things, and everyone wants to look at everything, and that's fine. But I don't know, because the Epstein files, like, we can see the draft number, we can go to the website, we can pull it up, we can read the document, we can read what he was involved in, but does it have anything to do with anything? I don't know. How important was his job? Did he physically do anything crazy, or was he just working a PR company and happened to be hired by shit people? I don't know. I don't know. I just know that an 84-year-old woman apparently got snatched up out of her freaking house. The timeline that they're giving us doesn't make any sense. It's full of freaking holes. There's apparently blood on the porch that's hers, but DNA inside the house that's not, and they're not giving us any updates on anything. How does an 84-year-old woman with mobility issues just get taken with no noise, no shuffle marks, nothing? This is the most frustrating ass case. I mean, it's not really even the most frustrating case. It's just extremely frustrating. Well, thank you for being here for so long, Sharon, and happy Valentine's Day to you, too. Thank you for the super sticker, Jenny. I appreciate that. Thank you. That, too. See, but that didn't even matter to me because nothing ever really gets said in those damn interviews. Nothing ever really gets said in those interviews, which is really just frustrating. But what could she have been told off the record? I don't know. But I did notice that. I think it was like 6 months ago or something like that. She had an interview with a bunch of the Epstein survivors, along with Virginia Giuffre's brother, I think, was also there, and did an interview. They did not put that old lady that cannot walk around in roller skates. I know why you're saying that, though, because there's marks in the driveway, but I think that's from the forensic box with wheels. So I don't know. Well, thank you, Tea Time Sleuth. Thank you for being here for 6 months. I just wish we had some facts here. And I just keep refreshing the page. Like, I cannot believe that they're out here like, once there's something significant, we're going to give a press conference. And I'm like, oh, what about the last 3 or 4 days has not been completely significant? You have now swatted up on how many different people, and you're claiming that none of them have anything to do with anything. And see, they still don't have anything up here. You're claiming that none of them have anything to do with freaking anything. And that's not significant enough for you to come out here and be like, we have no idea what we're doing. And how much does the family care if they're not putting out a reward? And that's going to sound, however, because I know people want to come out here and they want to protect the families of the people that are the actual victims instead of thinking about what it actually means, because I don't know why. I'm not one of them. I have an issue with the fact that Savannah was to come out here and put up videos about how we need your help, but she's not putting up a reward. She's not trying to show anything. And then she's telling the police officers, we have our own people. We don't need you. Well, is that the reason why they can't find your mom? Because you're not being honest with them? Because you're hiding information from them? I don't know what to think about that statement. You are worth $40 million on your own, plus your dude is worth all kinds of freaking money, and no one is offering a reward? That's another thing. Like, I know that Savannah Guthrie is a news person, but that's not supposed to mean that she's a freaking actress. How come when they're like doing the videos, the sister that everyone's blaming is like the only one that looks like she's holding back tears? Seriously, Annie is the only one that looks like she's trying not to cry. The brother is having to read off a paper to say freaking 30 seconds worth of something, and Savannah's monotone. Face full of makeup. Like Dylan at the freaking courtroom. face full of makeup, not red whatsoever, no tears coming out of her eyes. All an act. Weigh the difference here. Not much of one. Looks the same to me. All for show. Where's the money? Where's the reward? Where's the give a shit? Where's the ransom that was supposed to be paid? You've got the capability to go in there and pay that, and it be a tax write-off for you in some way, shape, or form, where you'd get it back like almost instantly, even if it was someone being a piece of shit. Why didn't you pay it? I just don't get it. I don't know if it's disassociated or they all know the truth and they just don't want to put it out to the public. Because let's also talk about this. And I don't know, guys. This is my biggest curious thing here. The Adult Protective Services card. I don't know if it's protocol for an elderly person to go missing and those people just show up and put a card at the house even though the person is missing. I don't know if that's a thing. I meant to call Friday to see if I can get any sort of answers for if they went out before or after. Like, obviously, they probably handle things like CPS does where they can't really give information. But I want to know, is it protocol? Is that why the card was there? Or was the card there before the incident? Because this is why. She went in, apparently, according to the story, through the garage door. Because they want to tell us that it opened at 9:48 and closed at 9:50. And just like my 17-year-old said, that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean anything at all. I don't know why they're not releasing footage of her getting home or her being taken out the house. Because if it was through that front door where the blood is, obviously, there's got to be something. They're lying to us about when that ring cam was disconnected. They're lying to us about when that ring cam was disconnected because they can't even get that part of it correct. They keep flipping it and moving it all over the place. Then the same people that are getting these media updates from them are also saying that the still shot that has the no backpack and the no gun in the front is a second person. Okay, so you're telling me that before the camera was disconnected, somebody else came and scoped out the camera, and the guy that actually showed up with the gun in the backpack still showed up ill-prepared and had to turn around and hunt for grass to remove the camera from the house? How does that timeline work? That doesn't make sense. That makes no sense. They're not telling us the truth. For some reason or another, they're not telling us the damn truth about the damn timeline. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand. That's a really dumb statement. Every ransom that comes along, unless you're constantly getting kidnapped, I don't know how that statement's going to be valid to this kind of situation. It came through. The cops were tracing it. They said that it was legitimate. They came out to the public and said they were going to pay it, and they didn't pay it. How does that make the family look? Sure makes them look a certain way. It's very strange. See, that's another thing. You got this woman taking an Uber to your house and she can barely move. She's got blood bruises that are like the entirety of her forearm down to her fingertips. And you're making her take an Uber to your house? Yeah, that too. I just don't understand the stupidity here. I don't understand it. And still just no updates on anything. And it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 p.m. in Texas. Oh, well, hold on. So as of 48 minutes ago, there's an update from Matt Finn, who works for who? For Fox News. Okay, well, I guess we can read this for a second. And I'll probably get off of here. I'm trying to get Scott Perky's audio down. I'm trying to make it where you can hear it better. For those of you here for the Idaho case on this channel, Scott Perkey is the co-owner of 1122. The Connor, Idaho channel put that out a couple days ago. This is the one where he talks about the guy that has it out for the fraternity and the sorority because he blames his mom, like his mom's alcoholism and abuse of him on what happened to her at the U of I. And the guy that says that he's followed Maddie and Xana to the Mad Greek from the university and then home and had even been inside 1122 at some point. That's that interview. That's that interview. I don't know how that one wasn't taken more serious. I don't know how we haven't heard more information about who that person was, if that person's actually been cleared. But I wasn't aware at the time that we were reading that report that the co-owner of the home is the one who was saying that to the cops. That's crazy. That's crazy. But if you go and you listen to it, it sounds like it came from a 1950s detective movie. I don't know what in the hell they used to record this thing, but it is bad. It's bad. So I'm trying to do some sort of noise suppression. I'm trying to make it louder. That's what I want to go over tonight is a Scott Perkey interview. So I'll probably get off of here soon and try to get that settled up so that I can schedule that because I do have to go run to town before we go live later. So we're probably going to go ahead and get off of here soon because there's really nothing else to talk about here. Me neither. Woke up. Yeah, that's the one. I think so. I think that's the right number I wrote down the other day. Yeah. It's just a very interesting interview and it's long. It's like an hour and a half or so. So I'm trying to get it where we can at least hear it a lot better. Plus, there's also one from Brian Koberger's friend that he had. That's a foreign exchange student. Very choppy, very difficult to understand. So I'm going to try to clip out specific things that are related to the actual whatever he's saying here. I'm trying to clip it together to where it's easily understood. I was noticing the frustration a lot of people were having trying to understand what he was trying to say, which makes his answers complicated because we don't really know if he understands the English that he's saying to answer the questions. You know what I mean? Like it seems very difficult for him. So I'm going to try to fix that one too and get those scheduled. But let's go ahead and read this update. This again came out 45-ish or so, 50 minutes ago. Pima County Sheriff Nanos says to expect police activity every day and gives more details about last night's massive Guthrie police SWAT activity. Nanos tells Fox the person detained in the traffic stop last night outside of Culver's, which we believed involved with the gray Range Rover. So the guy that I showed you in the whitish hoodie and the handcuffs on was a person of interest who was cooperative and later released. Now, what I heard about that person then, since they are clarifying that that's who that was, what I heard about that person is that he was actually on his way to the house where all the swatting happened. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's legitimate. We should find that out hopefully soon, but that's what I was understanding about that situation. Regarding any other detainees, I'm guessing anyone at the residence was detained, but that is standard procedure to allow investigators serving a search warrant freedom to conduct their search. I was not at the scene, and I'm sure people were detained, but no one was arrested, and more importantly, no sign of Nancy was found. That's coming from the sheriff. Every day moving forward, there will be a lot of police activity throughout the community, and as to what level of activity, that it depends on what leads they chase and how it develops. These leads start in the command post and move to the fields as needed. That is one reason you're seeing activity build up as the day goes on that can ultimately lead to a search warrant looking for Nancy and any suspect involved. But they literally go in and swat them up. They just go in and swat them up all willy-nilly and just all crazy. They just go off. So what this is, I hate this so much. What this is trying to tell me is that the Range Rover guy was the actual person of interest. So that other two people, the other male and the mom of one of the males, because they're not saying that it's the mother of both, it's just the mother of one of them. The mother of one of the males, they were detained simply to clear out the house. But the Range Rover guy that I showed y'all in handcuffs was the actual like person of interest. Let me go back to that picture then. See, here's the Range Rover in the Culver parking lot. That's when they were putting up a tarp. See, that's what's so crazy, because you're putting up a tarp to look in the back of that car, bro. Like, that's insane. That's really insane to me. Here he is being hidden. And see, they put it up and they have it wide open right here. Like, obviously, there's nothing really, like, in there. If, I don't know, this shit don't really make any damn sense. See, and here he is with his face covered. So this person here was the actual person of interest. And the other two people were only taken out of the house to clear it so they could search it. That's basically what they just said. And this person's been released. Is that what they said? I know I just closed that off. Hold on. Yeah, another. Okay, yeah. It was a person of interest who was cooperative and later released. Absolutely insane. Oh, thanks for the 5, Jess. Hardly ever get to catch a live. So here's to another one. I appreciate all your hard work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna go live again later too. But I wanted to go live today to just try to figure out something. Cause like I don't understand. This is just a really crazy situation. I just don't even know. And a lot of people are questioning the cameras because what if it has nothing to do with anything? What if it has nothing to do with anything and she wasn't even home at that time and it was all a ruse? Some people are questioning that. Because they won't even tell us which way the person went in the house. They won't say if it was a window. They won't say if it was the door. They won't say if it was a back door. They won't tell us. And if we know that she's abducted and y'all are doing all these searches, why can't you tell us anything? You can't tell us what she was wearing when she was coming out the camera. Why? Because she didn't come out that way? How'd the blood get there? Obviously, she came out that way. The person that shows back up has no gun and no backpack on. I am, regardless of what they have tried to say, I'm under full confidence that was after the fact because he was just way too not prepared. That person was way too not prepared to have been scoping anything out ahead of time. I don't give a shit. He pooped himself when he came across that side of the house and saw that camera. They can't even give us the description of her outfit she had on. They want us to believe from experts, which honestly, this is kind of like common sense, that the blood on the porch came from her arms or her hands. That makes sense to me because usually whenever you go to bed, you have like pajamas on. Older people have pajamas on. She probably had some sort of pants on. And if it was coming from the legs, it wouldn't have had the kind of splats, like direct dots, very vertical, not really any angle whatsoever, dots on the ground. It wouldn't have been like that coming from the legs. So coming from the face or the arms would be the only one that makes any logical sense. So you're telling me that she's injured. She has a pacemaker. She needs all this medical attention in order to just survive. She blood bruises very easily. She's got old people bruises everywhere. She probably has really easily torn skin because she's older with all the blood bruises, and she has mobility issues. And you don't have at least a minute of footage of her being taken out of that front door where the blood is. How? I just don't believe it. I really don't believe it. I don't think the camera was removed when we see the guy holding the grass. I think the camera was removed when the person comes back. And honestly, the mask looks backwards when we see the still shot of no backpack and no gun. Like he doesn't even want, or they don't want their mouth or their eyes looking at that thing. Like everything's off and you can't see any eye holes or anything in the mask. It's very creepy. Like I said, it's very horror film. Very horror film. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they supposedly took the camera, but now they're changing the time that they took the camera. Sort of. Because they said that the camera was disconnected at 1:47, and then sometime 2 days ago, they came out telling mainstream media that they've been given information to that the camera footage of the suspect, the masked suspect, is at 2:12. Well, 2:12 was whenever you told us that there was motion that was detected, but that there was no footage. So what? You're telling us that the footage is 30 minutes after you told us that it was disconnected. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Yeah, anybody who's reporting on somebody like taking their life, they're gonna have to go out and like make a correction. They're gonna have to go make a correction. It's just a lot. I just don't understand how we're here. How we're here when we know that the feds have been involved from like the very beginning. There's no way that you have a senator being called before you call the sheriff. And the feds aren't involved, and Homeland Security isn't involved, and all these other things aren't involved. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And that's another thing too. It doesn't make any sense for it to be a ransom because a ransom wasn't even originally asked for, guys. We have to remember that. There was like 3 to 4 days that went by, and in a press conference, I think it was like the second press conference where the feds actually were like, no, was it? No, it wasn't. It was the first one. Was it the first one? I don't remember what number press conference it was, but it wasn't until someone in the media asked the sheriff if there was any sort of ransom that all of a sudden, a couple hours later, a ransom came through to TMZ. People don't kidnap people for money and then not ask for the money almost immediately. They don't wait days and days and days to ask for a ransom. Why would you do that? You don't wait days and days to ask for a ransom. All of it's bullshit. All of it's bullshit. And I'm really just wondering if it's orchestrated by the feds. Do they know that the person that took her really isn't asking for money and they're just trying to find her? So they're putting something out there to make the person think that someone else is trying to take responsibility for what they did to try to pull them out? Because I know like they try to do that egotistically with people who want credit for stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so much stupidity. I don't know what to think about it. Other than I don't know what to think about it. Let me see. There's nothing still from Pima County. Like, I don't know why they can't just come out and give a press conference, or not even a press conference. If you don't want to take questions from the media, then don't take questions from the media. But you could at least come out and you could do some sort of statement. You could come out in front of the cameras, read off a freaking piece of paper, show your face, answer the questions to the media to the camera that you know damn well that you need to answer, and then walk off the damn stage. You don't have to take anyone's questions. You don't have to. Yeah, I don't see anything else. See, and a lot of people are still talking about why Savannah Guthrie called Mark Kelly. Because again, you have to realize they have not released the 911 call. They haven't released anything when it came to the dispatch or anything except for like a 12-second piece that does nothing but talk about her medical condition, her height, and like her weight, I think. Mobility issues is what was talked about. That's it. I don't see anything else. Let me check the FBI one more time. Well, see, and that's the question too, because is that like protocol? Because Mark Kelly is being looked at for a lot of stuff too. Like for some reason, he's just like in everything. Is that why? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Apparently they just know each other. But I don't understand why that would be the first thing that you do besides calling the police. Why isn't that after the fact? So but that also tells me that Annie didn't call the police either. That tells me that Annie called her sister and then her sister took over, which is stupid considering that Annie was the one that's in like the local area and was like, what is it, 10 minutes 10, 12 minutes away. Yeah, it's a ginormous red flag if you call anybody but 911 first. I don't see anything else. I don't know. The cops suck right now, and they're not being like honest about stuff. They keep going back and forth with the timeline, and I just don't understand what the point with that is. I'll just tell you now. I'll tell you now. Those kidnappers are feeling hella confident. If they exist, if it's real, those kidnappers are feeling hella confident seeing this mess all over the damn page, all over the place. Absolutely insane. There was a grid search days after the fact. See, that's what I was questioning too, because I originally heard that the family went out there and looked around for her and like called around and drove around and all these things for almost an hour before the cops were called. But then the Senator Kelly story came out. And I was like, well, which is it? Holy shit, my camera is so freaking crooked. It's a good thing that it was tiny the whole time. Oh my gosh. Holy crap, is that crooked or what? It's a little bit better. It's a good thing it was tiny the whole time. I just don't understand the insanity here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that doesn't really bother me too much. Like, to get to the house, look around, that doesn't really, when it's a grown-ass adult and you're going to their house, it really doesn't bother me too much. But the time that they're giving us now is not an hour. They're not giving us the time that, or at least nothing that I've seen officially, is the time that she was supposed to be over at her friend's house for the church thing. Because remember, it wasn't church. I keep forgetting I need to paint. I need to like go get the paint out the kitchen so that you guys have like proof that I actually have the damn black paint. I bought it weeks ago and it's just been sitting in the kitchen. I need to get my life together. But you like they're now the timeline is different. It's not a full hour. I have it written down the way that they gave us to us. I don't trust none of it because now they're flip-flopping so much shit. But I was questioning that too because they originally did say that it was like almost an hour that they looked around, they called around to other people, try to see what was going on. Well, now they're telling us that the 911 call came in at 12:03, but there wasn't one. We're being told Senator Kelly is who contacted the freaking law enforcement officers. And then 9 to 12 minutes after they were alerted of the situation, they showed up on scene. So that would have been like before 12:20 that they would have showed up. But we have 11:57 a.m. for the family checking on Nancy. So I think from the article that we read, that's about the time that like Annie was told by the friend that the friend couldn't get a hold of her. But we also have to remember that they lied to us about the church. They said that it was an Arizona church. The pastor man came out, did an interview. They did a damn vigil for her and everything. And he wasn't even her preacher man. She watches a New York church out of a church out of New York that Savannah goes to. Her friends all get together and take turns at each other's houses to watch the like online video of the church every Sunday. It was not physical church, and it was not the Tucson church. The fact that man came out here acting like she was part of his congregation is wild to me because she hasn't been there since COVID, if not before that. Why lie about the church? Why lie about the church? Dumb. See, that's another thing. You show up and you see blood on the porch. You call the senator instead of calling the cops. I'm sorry. That right there, just to get some attention. Yes. See, that's another thing. That's the time difference. Yeah, the time difference is important too. I need to actually sit down and like write all that down and do comparisons for that. She was very feisty. See, that's another reason why a lot of people are like, are they just going around because of the dynamic there, going after like all the Hispanic guys that fit that description because of the kind of groups that she might have been involved in online? I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't have any freaking clue. But you can't make up the insanity here. Just like in the Idaho case, you can't make up the lack of evidence, the lack of all the bullshit. You can't make up this shit. We have again hours, guys. It's almost the exact same time frame. It's like 2:28 is when they say that her pacemaker disconnected. Law enforcement gets called right after 12. There's a Range Rover. Can I roll my eyes any harder? Damn. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. It's insane. I know. I cannot sleep. I have to like literally turn off my phone, put it away, turn off my laptop, put it away, turn off this, not look at my phone whatsoever, because I'm like, what the frick happened? What is going on? And the glove, and the gloves. Oh my God, and the gloves, and the mask. Except this one, we have footage. The Range Rover. I was like, what? It's a lot. I mean, I know there's patterns. We're human. But when you see that kind of stuff, it's just like, I know someone is messing with me. I know somebody's tweaking something back there. They're pulling the little strings and creating these stories. They have to. It's a lot. Oh, it's so much. It's annoying. All right, I'm going to go run to the store for probably no reason whatsoever. Oh, yeah. Have you listened to the dispatch? Like, there's been at least like 2 or 3 different instances just over the past week where an elderly woman with a head injury on the dispatch is having to have an ambulance called for her and brought to the hospital. Arizona is crazy. And there was apparently 2 hit and runs last night. 2. So much. So much. All right, you guys, thank you for coming in here. Thank you for the super stickers and the super chats. Thank you for your time coming in here trying to go through all this insanity. If they put a proper response out there officially from either Pima County or the FBI, I'll probably do either like a really quick live just to go over whatever they say, or I'll just put a little quick video up. I haven't decided, just all depends on what's going on. But I do want to go live tonight. I am going to do my best with the Scott Perky audio, and I want to listen to that and take notes tonight because it's just insane what he says about this person. And if you ever needed a motive to go after strangers, this guy would have it. If you ever needed a motive and had the capability and had the personality traits of someone that actually could have committed this crime and had the emotional attachment to it that we see, it's the guy that's being mentioned in this interview. It's the guy that has K-bars and knives hidden in all kinds of different places in a woodpile and followed Maddie and Xana to the Mad Greek and had admitted to being in 1122 several times and could have killed them anytime he wanted to. That's coming from the co-owner's face of 1122, okay? We're taking notes tonight. We're taking notes tonight. Thank you again so much for being here. Y'all have a super great Valentine's Day. I hope anybody that has plans that it goes flawlessly and you get all the things that you think that you are going to get. I hope it goes perfect. Let me go ahead and roll this out real quick. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.